If you do not like nursing, I would suggest that you click out of this video now. Welcome back to my channel, everybody. For those who are new here, hello. I know I've been getting a lot of new subscribers, so I just want to say hello. How you doing? My name is Kash. So those of you who are OGs or who've been following my journey, we're going to be discussing some DNP things. Since I posted my video about like my updates and things like that, I've been getting a lot of questions from you guys on my Instagram, on YouTube, about like the DNP program and stuff like that. So what I'm gonna do is discuss like the common whats and whys about the DNP program and like why I'm pursuing this degree, and just to try to clear up any misunderstandings or questions you guys may have. So let's jump right in. The first thing that I want to talk about is a what. And the question is, what is a DNP as compared to a PhD? So since I've told like my friends and my family that I am going for my doctorate, they've kind of assumed that I'm going for my PhD, and everybody's like, yeah, I'm proud of you going for your PhD. Everybody's just hyping. I'm like, no, I'm not really going for my PhD. I'm going for my DNP. So very similar to, I don't know if it's just me, but when I first heard about the DNP, I'm not gonna front, and please do not laugh. I'm already a nurse practitioner. I passed my certification exam in 2017, I believe. I'll probably post the video here. I passed my certification exam in like last year sometime. So I am an FNP. I'm a family nurse practitioner. I also practice as an RN by the bedside. Now, when I knew that I could go for my doctorate, DNP, I thought stood for Doctorate Nurse Practitioner. Come to find out, after doing much research, it's not a Doctorate Nurse Practitioner, it's a Doctorate of Nursing Practice. So the difference between a DNP and a PhD is something that you probably commonly hear thrown around, like people have their PhD, they have their PhDs in various specialties. It's not necessarily like just for nursing or for doctors. You can get your PhD in anything. So a PhD is basically a doctorate of philosophy, I believe, and a DNP is a doctorate of nursing practice. So the differences when it comes to nursing is that a DNP prepared nurse is a nurse who is basically more clinical, and a PhD prepared nurse is one who's more research based. So just to give you an example, say for instance I was a PhD prepared nurse, or I was going for my PhD. I would be one who would be looking for research and trying to develop new evidence to disseminate into nursing. As a DNP prepared nurse, I'm the person who takes the information that the researchers have already established and prepared, and I put it into practice. So for an example, say for instance, let's use pressure ulcers. If I was a PhD prepared nurse and I was trying to create new evidence or find evidence to prove that pressure ulcers are associated with lack of mobility, that's what I'm focusing on. That's what I'm going to develop, and that's what I'm gonna put all of my effort into, and that's gonna be my thing. I'm the person that comes up with this evidence, this body of research. That's what I did as a PhD prepared nurse. As a DNP prepared nurse, I am the one who says, okay, so if pressure ulcers are caused by a lack of mobility or whatever the case is, what I'm going to implement is turning and repositioning, getting the patient out of the bed, out of the bed to chair, covering the bony prominences, stuff like that. So the PhD prepared nurse is more research based, and the DNP prepared nurse is more clinical. The next thing is, what will you be called when you have a DNP? And it took a lot of like research for me to figure it out too, because of course at the end of your program, at the completion of your program, you will be a doctor. You would have your doctorate in nursing practice. Now, as I said in the beginning of the video, I am an FNP, and just to clarify, you don't have to be a nurse practitioner to get your DNP. You can have a focus in any other specialty. You could be a You could come straight from your bachelor's and say you want to go straight into the a doctorate program. You can do it that way. You could be a clinical nurse specialist. You can be anything. You can be a midwife. You can be a nurse anesthetist, and you will have like a DNP degree. You don't have to be a nurse practitioner. That's just to clarify that whole like misunderstanding, if there is one. I'm a nurse practitioner, so I already have a hard time introducing myself to patients and not really knowing how to call myself, because if I were a doctor, I would say, hi, my name is Dr. Kash. Well, not Kash, but my name is Dr. Kim, blah, blah, blah. And I'm working here at da-da-da-da. As a nurse, a bedside nurse or RN, I don't have a problem saying, hi, my name is Kimberly. I'm a registered nurse. I'll be taking care of you tonight. So as an NP, just newly getting into this role, I didn't even know what to call myself. And I had to reach out to some of my colleagues and ask them, like, how do you introduce yourself to your patients? So I finally started introducing myself. Hi, my name is Kim. I'm a nurse practitioner working here at blah, blah, blah. I'll be taking care of you today, or I'll be working, you know, whatever, whatever. So now as a DNP prepared nurse, what would I call myself? I can't call myself doctor. I can't say, hi, my name is Dr. Kimberly. I'll be taking care of you today, because that's confusing, because many people don't even understand fully the concept of a nurse practitioner. I've had many patients even question what a nurse practitioner is while I'm like in my coat with my stethoscope ready to do my assessments and things like that. They're like, what is a nurse practitioner? So a lot of people are not really familiar with the concept. So to say that you are a doctor but like you're like a nurse, they wouldn't know like where to categorize you, how to look at you, what to, you know, where to place you, what level to put you on. So if you are a nurse who is pursuing a doctorate, you will be able to use that title in, I guess, any other arena. So say for instance I go into academia, or I go into administration, or any other, you know, arena, I'll be able to say my name is Dr. Kimberly blah blah blah. And on paper, of course, the initials behind my name would be like DNP, just so people can understand like what type of doctor. I'm not a medical doctor. I'm not a PhD, you know, prepared nurse, stuff like that. So you cannot call yourself doctor, nurse practitioner, doctor, nurse, doctor, manager, or whatever the case is when you're dealing directly with patients, because A, you just can't do that, and B, it's really confusing. So the next question that I want to answer is, why am I pursuing a doctorate? A lot of people have been asking me, why am I doing it? Like, what's the point? Am I gonna like it? Am I not sure? Am I confused? Things of that sort. So I'll answer that in like 2 parts. If you've been following my channel, if you've been following me on my channel, you'll know that I graduated in December of 2016 with my master's degree. And I passed my certification exam in, I'm gonna say like June, July. Like I said, I'll link it. It's probably linked somewhere or like in the description bar. I passed my certification exam, but I did not start practicing as a nurse practitioner immediately afterwards. I remained by the bedside, practicing as a registered nurse. And I have my reasons for that. I'll link that video either in the description bar or somewhere up top, just to let you understand like why I actually stayed by the bedside and my love for bedside nursing. But most recently, I've been granted the opportunity to start practicing as a nurse practitioner. And I was saying that I did not want to go full-time practicing as a nurse practitioner just yet, only because there is a level of comfort that I have and comfortability that I have practicing by the bedside, because that's the only thing that I've known when it comes to nursing. That was like my first, you know, my first footing. Like, that's the first thing that I did, and I actually love bedside nursing. So just knowing how to transition and feeling comfortable transitioning to be a provider as opposed to someone who just like executes plans. As you know, like registered nurses, you execute the plan. The doctor says, or the provider says, this is what we're doing, blah 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 blah, you execute the plan. As a provider, whether you're a nurse practitioner, you are a PA, you're a doctor, whatever the case is, you're the one who actually puts the plan in place. Say, this is what we're doing. So just knowing how to get a little bit comfortable getting into that realm, I said that I would not leave the bedside just yet. So people were saying, so why would you go for your doctorate if you don't even know if you're gonna like being a nurse practitioner? I know that I'm gonna love being a nurse practitioner. That's not the question. It's just a matter of just getting a little bit comfortable. So going for my doctorate now, I know that's probably taking some people by storm. Like, this girl is confused. She doesn't know what she wants to do. I do know what I want to do, and I know for what reason I'm actually going for my doctorate. I have two main reasons. One, because I had the opportunity to go, okay, and two, because I actually like love education. I love learning. And I'll focus on that first, and then I'll go back to the opportunity. So when it comes to learning, there's something about being exposed to information and just like your mind being, you know, enhanced in some way. It just does something to me. I love being able to say, I didn't know that, but now I know this, and I can stand next to this person and have this type of conversation, and I can teach people this thing because I know it. So there's something about education and is being exposed. Not necessarily, I mean, and I know there's some people who just are not college people. I know that, and that's not the only way you can get education, blah, blah, blah. I know. You can learn in multiple ways. However, I associate education, especially when it comes to my profession, I associate it with school. So I love school. I love to learn. And so the information that I've been able to acquire and obtain over these years have helped not only me, but I've been able to help other people. If you are new, for 1 year, I was a clinical nurse instructor where I taught undergrad nursing students. And I mean, I know I look young. I mean, I'm a little bit young, but being able to say that age is not a factor, it makes me feel good. Like, you can't look at me and say that she's too young to do this. I'm qualified because I have the knowledge. So being able to gain new knowledge, it makes me happy. And because there's a doctorate after a master's, I'm gonna do it. Why not? And that leads to my second point, that I have the opportunity to do it. So as I said, I look a little young. I'm a little bit young. I'm kind of young. You know, that's up for debate. But I don't have a family of my own yet. I don't have a husband or any kids. I don't have any extreme responsibilities to where I don't have the opportunity. Because I have free time and I do love education, I'm like, just why not? Why not just go back and get my doctorate? Like, what am I wasting my time doing? I don't need to have 3, 4, 5 jobs. Why not just take my free time and go back to school? So I work at the bedside as a registered nurse. On my days off, I practice at a clinic as a nurse practitioner, and sometime in between those hours, I pursue my doctorate. So my doctorate program is not, I don't have to go to campus or anything. It's an online program, which is extremely convenient. It's so good. I decided to go with this program only because I like the convenience of not having to physically be somewhere at a particular time, and because my master's program, in the very beginning, I could probably say the first semester or so, maybe the first 2 semesters, it was like kind of like a hybrid. I would go to class some days and I would do some assignments online. It kind of prepared me for being in a program like this, to where I don't have to go to campus at all. The program is not even like in New York, so, and that's where I'm from, and that's where I'm at. So yeah, the program isn't here, but I'm able to manage my time and I'm able to go at my own pace. So I'm hoping that I answered your questions. I don't know if I did, and I don't think I answered all of them because I have so many questions from you guys, and I thank you so much for being like active and like coming to my channel and feeling as though you can look to me for an answer. But I'm trying to categorize all of the questions that I received so that I can compile videos that are like cohesive and like sensible. If you have any questions about DNP programs, please leave them below. If you have any questions about like master's programs, like the master's degree, if you want to know about like nurse practitioners, like the varying types of nurse practitioners, or the different fields that nurses can go into, because once you get into the field of nursing, which is what I love about it, you're not necessarily stuck in one particular place. There are so many things that you can do. Like, nursing is just an umbrella, and underneath the umbrella are so many opportunities. So if you have any questions about what nurses can do and what opportunities are out there, you can leave them below as well, and I would try my best to get these videos out for you guys, because I know everybody doesn't want to watch vlogs all the time, and I do have, you know, just a little bit of background just to kind of share with you guys. So please, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give me a thumbs up. I'm not going to ask you to subscribe. You will subscribe on your own if you feel it's necessary, but most importantly, share this with anybody who needs, and lastly, leave your comments below.